Son of a
Glitch.
Super Mario Galaxy 2, returning with some new tricks. Mario once again ventures into space, and this time there's even more glitches than the original. We'll begin our glitchy adventure on the Starship. Once you have Yoshi on the Starship, if you hop on him and then flutter towards this tree, Yoshi will fall and get stuck inside it, and he'll remain there until he turns into an egg again. Yoshi is known for his long tongue, but things get a bit crazy when you press the B button to use his tongue just as you enter the warp to the Starshroom. When you arrive on the Starshroom, Yoshi's tongue gets stuck on the warp and thus stretches all the way back to the Starship. Yoshi's tongue will stay this way all around the Starship even when you enter the engine room. Another way to get this glitch to work is to tongue the toad next to the warp just as it activates, and yet again Yoshi's tongue will stretch all the way out. Say there buddy, my dinosaur's tongue seems to be attached to your friend's face over there. This glitch will end when you press the B button to use Yoshi's tongue once again. Also, if you enter the engine room and press the B button just before the transition, Yoshi's tongue will stretch out once again, but only for a brief second. I found out you could get stuck in the nose of Starship Mario's face by walking around it like this. This happened by accident when I wasn't paying attention, but I was stuck there for a little bit. No matter which direction I tried to go, it wasn't letting me out, but I eventually just jumped out. If you head into the Chance Cube room, speak to one of the Lumas with Mario facing towards the screen. When the camera angle changes, you'll be able to see through the wall and the sky from the Starship will be visible. Obviously, Nintendo never expected us to speak to Luma this way, so the wall texture must only be one-sided. One of the funniest looking glitches is the Yoshi slide, where Yoshi stays in his crouch position while being able to move around freely. To do this, while Mario is riding Yoshi, crouch by pressing the Z button, and as soon as you let go of Z, shake the Wii remote. If you timed it correctly, Yoshi will remain crouching, but he can slide around the ground, and in some cases he'll even leave footprints despite the fact that he's sliding. A cool side effect of this glitch is that if you enter a Cloud Mario power-up, Mario will be able to slide around in the same way. In the Yoshi Star Galaxy, when you reach the giant fruit, use the B button to tongue and eat it. Now quickly use the launch star that appears, and when Yoshi flies through the air, his cheeks will be puffed out, and as soon as you land, Yoshi will eat the fruit. In a galaxy with a Smeech, for example Starshine Beach Galaxy, get a Smeech stuck on Yoshi's mouth and then grab the star. Now sit back and enjoy the hilarious star grab that follows. As Cloud Mario, when you're about to collect a star, shake the Wii remote to make a cloud, and the Starget cutscene will play out while the camera is inside the cloud. Using clouds, you're able to extend Mario's long jump by shaking the Wii remote to form a cloud and then immediately long jumping. This gives Mario a small boost that helps him get more distance in long jumps. While not a glitch, this is an exploit of the momentum generated from moving platforms either horizontally or vertically when Mario jumps. This kind of momentum can best be seen in the Flip Swap Galaxy. Run into the empty space where a flipping platform will be when you shake. As Mario falls into it, shake the Wii remote, and as the platform flips, perform a long jump before the platform stops moving. The result is a long jump with great height and distance, enabling Mario to clear huge areas of the course. Not to mention it's fun as heck to do. Heading over to Starshine Beach Galaxy now, and if you guide a crabber to an area of water with a drop, it'll dig under the sand and disappear, only to respawn at another area. Well, almost. Only the legs of the crabber will spawn at first, followed slowly by the rest of it, and it'll be frozen briefly until its animation kicks in. While we're here at Starshine Beach Galaxy, grab Yoshi and get him nose deep in a body of water to the point before he starts swimming, like so. Dismount Yoshi by pressing the Z button followed by the A button. Now get in front of Yoshi and then spin to mount Yoshi once again. If Yoshi was in the right spot, he'll be dragged beyond the point where he's programmed to swim, and now he'll run underwater. You'll notice Mario doesn't have an air meter as the game thinks he's still on land. You're free to go anywhere underwater, but if Yoshi steps off an edge of any kind or he falls, he'll begin swimming and the glitch will end. In another water-related glitch, Mario is also able to long jump on water, although the timing is very difficult. Mario must be on the surface of the water, then press the Z button followed immediately by a shake and then the A button. The Z button and the shake are almost at the same time, with the A button straight after, almost as if you were doing a long jump on the ground. Again, this glitch is difficult, but it can be done with practice. Also, in this area of Cosmic Cove, once the place is frozen over, there's a wooden platform next to the waterfall that can be skated on, although very briefly. It's only possible to skate in a small area in the middle, but it's the only wooden platform in the cove that you can do this on. In Cloudy Court Galaxy, in the Star the Shadow Lining, when you grab the star chips, Mario clones will appear and follow your every move. But if you just barely touch them as you pick them up, no clones will appear, which is strange but welcome, as those clones can be pretty annoying. In Freezy Flake Galaxy, get to the Blizzard planet and there's a Goomba statue that Mario can get stuck behind. Once you get behind the Goomba statue, Mario will now be stuck here and freeze in position when he jumps, and the only way out is to exit the galaxy. In Bowser Jr.'s Fearsome Fleet, ride the first moving platform all the way to the right and then activate the second moving platform. As another platform comes in from the left of the screen, jump aboard and then push against this wall. Mario will now be strangely teleported to where the platforms respawn at the beginning of the course. Sometimes if Mario is up close to certain characters, like this penguin in Cosmic Cove, and then enters first person view, the penguin will disappear. Only his shadow remains, but when you exit first person, oh, the penguin returns. The same thing can be done in Supermassive Galaxy with the giant Luma at the beginning. Stand close to the Luma and enter first person view, and now the Luma is nowhere to be seen. Speaking of invisible characters, make your way to the first checkpoint in Supermassive Galaxy and then jump off the side of this ledge to lose a life. Now backtrack to the giant coin by long jumping across to it. Head to where the first Piranha plant would usually be, and then Mario will take damage from an invisible Piranha plant. Immediately spin and water will continuously sprout from nowhere along with the world's most annoying sound. Eventually, dirt and dust will come up from the pipe, just as it would when the Piranha plant first emerges from the ground, only the Piranha plant never shows and the effect is never ending. It also lags the game pretty hard too. In the Chompworks galaxy, make your way to the lava planet with the gold chomp and then long jump all the way towards the screen. The whole area will become low resolution as it would be from a great distance, but we're only a few yards away. In Shiverburn galaxy, get to a planet with falling meteors and then look up at the sky. For some reason they'll freeze as they fall, but if you shift the camera around they'll suddenly begin falling again. Is that you guys doing that? In the Melty Monster Galaxy, at the beginning of the course, head into the green pipe to Chimp's bowling challenge, but instead of speaking to Chimp, go back into the pipe. Now go back to the very first area of the galaxy and look out into the huge dark void that's now staring you in the face. This glitch is kind of freaky, but it's really just the bowling challenge area which is still loaded from us going down the pipe. I guess Nintendo never expected anyone to exit out of the bowling challenge. Also in Melty Monster Galaxy, choose to start a stroll down rolling lane and at the start grab the Rock Mario power-up. Face directly left or right and then shake to curl up into a ball. After a couple of bounces, Rock Mario will stop dead, although you can still jump or roll really slowly for a small period of time. For the next few glitches, we're going to see a familiar looking world in the Throwback Galaxy. For some reason here, if we jump just right, Mario can land inside the fence, and we can even move through it until the fence pushes Mario back out. If we head up to the top of the fortress, we'll see this womp. If we stand at the very edge of where he slams into the ground and then jump just before Mario gets squashed, the womp can push us through the ground. Instead of being crushed, Mario will end up in the boss fight with King Womp. During the fight with King Womp, get him to follow you till his feet are right at the edge like this. Now hang off the edge during his attack and King Womp will float off the edge of the platform, although he won't fall like most enemies. The sound effect of him slamming on the ground will still play even though there's no ground underneath him. Using Cloud Mario, if you head off in this direction with a few long jumps and clouds, Mario can get over to the bonus planet. You can kill all the Piranha plants and get the 1-ups that appear usually, but the game won't warp you back. So there's no way off the planet short of exiting the galaxy. In the Battle Belt Galaxy, get to the yellow Starshroom and look inside with first person view. You'll see a Toad inside sleeping on the table, but he's not actually on top of it, he's floating. Well, I guess we are in space, so I guess that kind of makes sense? The most useful and game-breaking glitch in the entire game is Yoshi's infinite flutter. Usually Yoshi can only flutter for a short amount of time, and then will land back on the ground. But there's a way to continuously flutter for as long as you want. During a flutter, press and release the Z button and then immediately press and hold the A button once again. Yoshi will crouch in mid-air and this cancels the flutter animation, enabling Yoshi to flutter again straight away. Make sure you don't press the A button with the Z button still pressed, as Mario will dismount from Yoshi. There is a rhythm to getting a successful infinite flutter, and once you get it down, you can actually begin traveling upwards. Due to the nature of this glitch, it opens up some ways of getting to inaccessible areas and even creates shortcuts through some of the galaxies. For example, in Yoshi Star Galaxy, at the base of the volcano, begin infinite fluttering upwards and eventually you'll trigger the volcano eruption, even though Mario and Yoshi haven't activated the launch star below. You can even get inside the volcano, which has invisible slopes, so Mario and Yoshi just slide around. It kinda looks like they're wrestling. If you jump backwards and bounce off the giant fruit and then begin infinite fluttering sideways like this, it's possible to skip to this planet by getting close enough and then dismounting Yoshi. Moving sideways and slightly backwards during a flutter is faster than a flutter with Yoshi facing in the direction you want to go. Although, after about 10 seconds, the flutter will lose all momentum and Yoshi will flutter directly upwards from then on. Knowing this, we can angle Yoshi in just the right way and quickly flutter to the area where gravity changes, dismount and then land on the planet. On the last planet where the star is located, use the flowers to get a slight boost and then flutter upwards for a minute, and there are some invisible platforms we can access. There's one on each side of this area, and when I jumped down from the left side's invisible platform, I managed to get stuck in a falling loop. This went on for a while until I realized I could edge my way out of it. In Starshine Beach Galaxy, if we infinite flutter upwards at the beginning of the main planet, eventually we'll get this splashing glitch which is usually triggered when we fly through it. It'll follow Mario wherever he goes, even when we fall back towards the planet. Infinite flutters really break Sweet Mystery Galaxy as it's pretty much all one height, so fluttering can really cover some distance. Under the area where the star is, if you fall downwards, you won't actually die. For some reason, there are large invisible platforms that stretch across the stage. Landing on one of these, it could be a little while before you finally find an edge you can fall from. In Bowser Jr.'s Fearsome Fleet, fluttering can also provide huge shortcuts and also some strangeness. You can use the momentum from this moving platform to flutter past the huge airships that appear. If you land on the second one, you'll actually skip a trigger for the hammer bro that attacks you. He'll just stand there looking at you, so I think there's only one thing for it. Bam! That's for all the cheap shots. At the last area before you fight Mega Hammer, you can flutter up to the planet where the boss fight happens. Be careful not to go too far to the left of the screen, otherwise you'll be sucked into a black hole. And once you get up here, the boss won't trigger until you're in just the right spot. If you flutter back down to the launch star below, the rest of the stage will have unloaded, but the collision detection is still there, meaning you'll be walking on invisible ground. In Flashback Galaxy, it's possible to infinite flutter up to the roof of the house from the first checkpoint. Once you get up here, you actually clip through the roof as it has no collision programmed. In Bowser's Galaxy Generator, there's a cool trick you can do to skip the 3 Hammer Bros at the beginning. Run past them, long jump off the edge, and before you hit the lava, spin and then hold down on the control stick. Mario will get hurt by the lava and now hold up and slightly left. Mario will shoot forwards and land at the bottom of the lava waterfall next to the drill, skipping the need to beat the Hammer Bros above. Back to infinite fluttering now and another crazy shortcut. When we grab Yoshi, do a side somersault with Yoshi angled like this, and then begin infinite fluttering while holding up left on the control stick. You should be able to make it up on top of the castle wall, and once you land, head to this point here. Now face right and then jump backwards, holding up left on the control stick and flutter twice to get away from this wall's gravity, which will kill your flutter if you get too close. Once far enough away, continue moving up and left slightly and doing lots of short flutters, and when you reach this spire, hold the Z button and then press the A button to dismount from Yoshi. With enough momentum, Mario should make it to the final area of the galaxy, and then you can head on to the Bowser boss fight. Before I really knew what I was doing with this skip, I managed to get stuck on the castle wall like this, which was crazy to begin with. But what happened next really knocked me sideways, literally. The gravity from a previous planet pulled me towards it, and instead of just being able to land in that area and carry on the stage, Mario just bounced around the outside of it, and the only way out of it was to exit the galaxy and try again. And now for the best use of the infinite flutter, getting Yoshi in the final fight with Bowser. Get Yoshi to the final area of the galaxy, and instead of climbing the pole to reach the top, use the infinite flutter. Once you both reach the top, break the chains using the golden rocks, making sure to hang on to Yoshi, who after a short time of just standing there will turn back into an egg and disappear. Once the final door is open, Mario and Yoshi will be taken into a cutscene, although this one's a little different from usual. The game doesn't have any animation programmed for Mario riding Yoshi during these cutscenes, so they both just float there. Yoshi functions normally during the boss fight, and as long as you position him like this on the gold rocks, ground pound them and then spin to land back on Yoshi. It's possible to have him all the way through each stage of the final Bowser fight, though keeping him for the final hit is very tricky. But it's really cool to have Yoshi to fight Bowser with either way. And finally, even when the credits roll, the game can still be broken. If you use first person view during the credits, Mario's head will move, but his hair won't. So now I guess we're actually looking inside Mario's head? This is probably because Mario's hair model isn't programmed into any other areas of the game, and I guess the developers never thought anyone would use first person view during the credits. When the scene switches to the crescent moon, as Luigi, ground pound the left side of the moon and then backflip at just the right time and Luigi will fall out of bounds. The game will try to put him back on solid ground but won't manage to, and this really screws up the credits. The scenes get switched around to the point where the ground becomes invisible and the characters look like they're just floating around. These are some truly messed up credits. Also, you can die in the credits. If you collect 120 stars, a B power-up will appear in the credits, so pick it up and wait for the scene to transition. When the snow scene appears, hold down on the control stick and repeatedly tap the A button. B Mario will now fly out of bounds and die. The screen will go black, but the credits will continue despite that. Another way to die in the credits is by using Yoshi's infinite flutter. Grab Yoshi in the credits and then keep him until the last scene, and then quickly get on top of the cake. Bounce 3 times on the toad at the top of the cake, and the third bounce will give you some extra height to infinite flutter upwards. Keep fluttering until the screen moves up, and too bad, you died. Again, the credits will finish normally, but that really is something special when you're able to glitch out the credits. And that brings us to the end of our Galaxy adventures and some awesome glitches you guys can try out. And if you like this episode, hit that like button, share it with everyone you know and love, but most importantly, please subscribe if you want to see more from the series. Head over to the Facebook page for the show. I post updates and sneak peeks to upcoming episodes and keep you guys in the know about all things Son of a Glitch. Or you guys can follow me on Twitter and keep updated that way. Also, I stream on Twitch whilst making episodes, so you guys should check me out there too. You know, if you want to.